everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Season 14 Episode 9, and this is going to be a short review just because we didn't get to see Alicia and Chris, which I think is good for Chris's mental health because he needs to heal after all he went through with Alicia. Anyway, I'll start off with my first couple, Lindsey and Mark. For me, given what happened towards the end of last week, I didn't expect them to make up or to be even on speaking terms. So when it started and Lindsey was sort of throwing a fit and stuff, I just thought, oh God, this is just going to only get worse. But they were able to make up. I think Lindsey should have apologized before Mark did anything else. Yes, she wanted Mark to apologize and to take responsibility for his actions, but at least lead by example. She should have apologized to him. She should have told him what she said in the bathroom, whether he heard it or not, and sincerely apologized if her goal is to stay married to this man. Because otherwise, when he sees this episode, he's going to be very upset and very disappointed. And then it's going to end up, as I said last week, as a Clara and Ryan moment whereby they can't get over it. I loved their sushi date. I loved that they went, to the park and we had this go-kart and stuff. I think they do have a possibility of becoming a successful couple if they can just stop focusing on the negatives, or if they can stop sort of going low when it's time to fight, and then when it's time to celebrate, they go too high. They need to sort of find a happy medium between the two of them and a way forward. But I don't know. I think Lindsey, if nothing else, I hope being on Married at First Sight is sort of like gives a different point of view of how she reacts and how she responds, and she's able to work on herself and improve herself. But personally, I think Lindsey and Mark, I can see why they were matched, but I think the experts didn't take into consideration Lindsey's mouth and how she runs it. And it's sad that, obviously we all know you can't find all the qualities you want in a partner in one person, but hopefully her good far outweighs the bad and they stay married at the end of the day. Anyway, we move on from them. We move on to Steve and Noy. Steve and Noy, for me, are this couple I see succeeding after this, because their only problem has been the fact that Steve doesn't have a job. But I think, as I said last week, it's just a matter of them sitting down, having honest and open conversations about their plans, and Steve sort of, because I think Noy wants security, and I think if he can draft a proposal, as I said last week, they'll be able to find a way forward. I think the group meetings whereby the guys met and the ladies met were helpful to all the couples involved, because they were able to sort of look at what was going on with everybody else and sort of look at their situation. And I think most of them appreciated their situation because they realized they were in a better position than what everybody else was facing. It seems Noy, is very excited, was very happy that Steve told her he loves her. And I can see them moving forward. If they don't, because their problems are very minimal. I think their problem is the fact that Steve doesn't have a job. And the fact that everything else I think that comes back is as a result of him not having a job. And if they can get over that, they will be successful. They don't seem to really have any problems with communicating or being around each other or doing anything apart from the noodle gate last week. So I wish them all the best. From there we go to a couple that's really disappointed me is Jasmina and Michael, because I had high hopes. I thought they were going to be the Vincent and Brianna of the season, and sadly I can't understand where they've gone wrong and why they are not working. Okay, I can understand, but I can't understand in the sense that I don't know whether it's because Jasmina is not attracted to Michael, or it's an occupational hazard whereby I understand she's a teacher, and so she's just used to telling people what to do and they do, and she keeps going on about his communication, and yet I don't think she sees how she comes across. Because last time they fought about how not to argue, or how to argue, and then today Michael, all he did was just ask her, how should I communicate with you, or what do I need to do in order for us to have, to improve our communication? And she got agitated with that, and it's like, listen to yourself. Your friend told you last week that you're not always one of the greatest communicators. At least listen to yourself and make the necessary adjustments if you plan to stay married to this man, unless you don't like him and you want a divorce. Something that rubbed me off the wrong way as well is, I understand she was trying to get him to open up and become vulnerable with her when he spoke about his brother, but at least she could have given him a hug. I know she sort of just moved in closer to him, but at least she could have given him a hug, because you've opened the floodgates for somebody to a very deep-seated, emotion. And at least, be empath. Yes, she was empathetic, but at least give him a hug. Let him know that he's not alone and you're in this with him. They are really frustrating me. Jasmina and Michael are really frustrating me, because I don't see why they should be fighting. Michael, last week when people were giving him hell, I sadly was still on his side, because you can't compare him with previous husbands. You can't compare him with Mr. Blessed. You can't compare him with Brandon. You can't compare him with the original Michael. You can't, because he at least is able to still remain polite even if he's upset. Well, as far as we have seen on camera, I don't know, she was complaining that off camera he behaves differently. But as far as we have seen, even when she was speaking, you could tell he was frustrated. But he just shut down and kept quiet and didn't say anything. So I don't know. And then finally, Olajuwon and Katina. Olajuwon and Katina, initially I was on the fence with them because I couldn't see. I kept saying there was something off about them. Well, we've eventually seen what's off about them. I think people go on Married at First Sight because they want to settle down, they want a partner, they're struggling in the world to find someone, which is acceptable. But I think people need to do work on themselves before they go to Married at First Sight, because Olajuwon kept saying he was a player, now he's ready to settle down. Katina said she enjoyed herself clubbing and stuff and she wants to settle down. And I think if nothing else, they should have realistic expectations, because I don't understand the fight. I don't understand the fight. I really don't understand the fight, in the sense that if they if it was about cleaning, it wasn't such a big deal that they needed to have, that back and forth that, oh, you didn't clean after we had the get together with friends and family and stuff. And he needs to learn his wife. He needs to, ask himself, am I willing to put up with this or not? And if he's not, then that's it. If he is, then he needs to find a way of how they can compromise and understand each other and improve on themselves. And so it's really sad to see Katina break down, because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't really necessary for him to go all out about food. She might not be good at cooking, but she must be good at something, seriously. She must be. Everybody's not always good at everything, but they do have something that they're good at. And I wish he could tone it down a bit, because otherwise it's going to put her off and he's going to end up, on his own again, playing back in them streets. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. I can see them finding a way forward. Personally, at times, I think there's certain people that you wish they'd meshed together, and I think maybe Katina would have been better off with someone who's more, someone who's more mellow, who's more compassionate and empathetic, like Michael. And I think they might have had a better possibility of having a successful marriage. But then she might not have been attracted to him, because that might not be the type of person that she is after. So I really don't know. Somebody said that, they need to reduce the couples. I definitely agree. I think it was a big jump to go from 3 to 5. I think they should have moved from 3 to 4 and first seen how those 4 were working before they moved on to 5. Because even with 5, the success rate has become way lower than it was with 3. And it doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not really holding out hope. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.